Today Dong Fu invites you to delve deeper into the Dhammapada, the 39th verse from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel TIionG in USA. There is no fear for an awakened one, whose mind is not sodden by lust, nor afflicted by hate, and who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. We begin with stillness. Let the breath rise and fall softly, naturally. Let us pause. Let us settle. Let us listen with the heart. These words of the Buddha are not only a description of the awakened one, but they are also a doorway, a mirror, an invitation. The verse opens with a declaration of fearlessness. It speaks of one who has no fear, no trembling, no doubt, no agitation, no confusion. This is not ordinary bravery. It is not about facing danger with courage. It is a deeper fearlessness. It is the peace that arises when all illusions have been seen through, when all grasping has been let go. There is no fear for an awakened one, because fear comes from clinging, and the awakened one clings to nothing. Fear comes from craving, and the awakened one has no thirst. Fear comes from hatred, and the awakened one holds no enemy. Fear comes from ignorance, and the awakened one is fully awake. This fearlessness is not beyond reach. It is not far from you. It is already within your nature, but it is covered, hidden, tangled in desire, in anger, in delusion. This verse is a light to help us untangle, to help us see clearly. What causes fear? What removes fear? What leads to awakening? Let us look deeper. Whose mind is not sodden by lust, nor afflicted by hate. The mind that is sodden is soaked, heavy, like cloth drenched in water. Lust, craving, desire, they soak the mind, weigh it down, cloud its clarity, distort its vision. When the mind is soaked with lust, we cannot see others as they are. We do not love. We want. We do not serve. We demand. The heart becomes a prisoner of its own wanting. And when the mind is afflicted by hate, it burns. It contracts. It lashes out. Hate turns our mind into a battlefield, a storm of judgment, a fire of rejection. With hate, there is no peace. Only separation, only suffering. But the awakened one, the Buddha, is free from both. The mind is clear, light, gentle. The water of craving has dried up. The fire of hatred has been cooled. There is no pushing, no pulling, just spaciousness, just presence, just the truth. And then the verse says, who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. This is the most subtle teaching. For many of us on the path, we begin with avoiding demerit, with keeping precepts, with choosing good over bad. But the Buddha points beyond even that, beyond good and evil, beyond merit and blame, not because they are unimportant, but because the awakened one sees the emptiness behind all dualities. To go beyond merit and demerit is to go beyond identity, beyond ego, beyond I am good and I am bad, beyond I am a doer, beyond this is mine. The awakened one acts without attachment to the result, speaks without seeking praise, lives without measuring virtue, not creating karma, not clinging to karma. This is the freedom of awakening. Dear friends, We live in a world soaked with fear. Fear of loss, fear of aging, fear of death, fear of rejection, fear of failure. And each fear comes from clinging to something that is not truly ours. The Buddha teaches us, when the mind is no longer sodden by lust, no longer afflicted by hate, and when it transcends the trap of merit and demerit, then fear disappears on its own. Let us contemplate now how we too may walk this path. First, the mind soaked with lust. We all know what it is to want. We want comfort. We want approval. We want possessions. We want status. But the more we want, the less peace we have. Even when we get what we want, the mind moves on to want something more, or to fear losing it. Craving is endless, and so is the suffering it brings. The Buddha teaches, see the nature of craving. Look at its impermanence. Look how it promises happiness but never delivers it fully. When we look clearly, craving begins to lose its grip. When we see the arising and passing of desire, without identifying with it, we begin to taste freedom. The practice of generosity helps loosen craving. The practice of contentment nourishes joy. The practice of mindfulness helps us see wanting as just a mental formation, not a command we must obey. The more we see, the less we grasp. The less we grasp, the lighter the heart becomes. Second, the mind afflicted by hate. Hatred is a poison. Even a little bit makes the whole mind bitter. It may arise from hurt, from fear, from ignorance, but however it comes, it always brings suffering. When we hold hate in the mind, we are not punishing others. We are punishing ourselves. The Buddha says, holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal, planning to throw it at someone, but burning yourself first. To let go of hate, we must understand it. We must meet it with compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves. What pain in us gives birth to anger? What wound cries out through hatred? When we understand the roots of our anger, we can soften them. We can choose not to feed the fire. Practices like loving kindness meditation, forgiveness, and deep listening help transform hatred into understanding, and understanding into peace. And finally, what does it mean to go beyond merit and demerit? This is not a rejection of goodness. It is the flowering of it. It is the understanding that even good karma is still karma. And where there is karma, there is still birth and death. The awakened one acts from wisdom, not from the hope of reward, nor from fear of punishment. There is no clinging to virtue, no pride in good deeds, no attachment to outcome. The action flows naturally, like a flower offering fragrance, like the sun giving warmth, not because it seeks merit, but because that is its nature. For us, we begin with merit. We do good. We refrain from harming. We bow. We chant. We serve. This purifies the mind, but we do not cling to it. We do not build identity around it. We let even merit go, not throwing it away, but offering it freely, unattached. In this letting go, there is great peace. So, dear listener, the awakened one is not far from you. The Buddha is not just a historical figure, but a possibility within your own heart. When your mind is calm, when your actions are kind, when your view is clear. The Buddha is alive in you. To be free of fear, you must walk the path of freedom. To be free of fear, you must live without clinging. To be free of fear, you must see the truth beyond all appearances. Let the breath be your teacher. Let mindfulness be your path. Let the teachings be your lamp. Practice seeing clearly. Practice letting go. Practice dwelling in the present. This is the path of fearlessness. This is the path of peace. And when you feel fear rising, return to this verse. Speak it softly. Let it settle in your heart. There is no fear for an awakened one, whose mind is not sodden by lust, nor afflicted by hate, and who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. Let it guide you. Let it remind you. Let it awaken you. May you be free from fear. May your heart be at peace. May your steps be firm and gentle. May your mind be free of craving. May your heart be free of hatred. May your actions be free of clinging. In this way, you are walking the path of the Buddha. You are touching the edge of awakening. You are tasting the joy of freedom. Let us return again to the verse with a quiet heart. There is no fear for an awakened one, whose mind is not sodden by lust, nor afflicted by hate, and who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. This verse is short, but it contains the whole path. It tells us what to abandon, what to understand, what to realize. It describes the destination and shows us the way. Let us now reflect more deeply on the nature of fear. Fear does not begin outside. It begins in the mind. Fear comes from attachment, from holding on to what we think is ours. Our body, our name, our position, our loved ones, our views. When the awakened one lets go of all things, fear has no ground to stand on. When there is no more clinging to self, there is no more fear of loss, no fear of insult, no fear of death, because the I that fears is seen to be empty. Let us look at our own life. How many fears do we carry each day? Fear of not having enough, fear of sickness, fear of growing old, fear of being judged, fear of being unloved, fear of change. But all of these fears arise from believing in a self that must be protected. When we believe in the self, we fear everything that threatens it. But when we investigate deeply, when we look into the 5 aggregates, we find there is no permanent self to be found. The body changes moment by moment. Feelings come and go. Perceptions shift like clouds. Thoughts arise and vanish. Consciousness flows like a stream. Where is the self? Where is the one that owns fear? When we look clearly, fear dissolves into emptiness. This does not mean we become careless. It means we become fearless with wisdom. We act with compassion, with clarity, with responsibility, but not with panic, not with grasping. Now let us reflect more on the mind not sodden by lust. The Buddha used this image carefully. A mind soaked in craving is like a sponge soaked in oil. It cannot catch fire with wisdom. It cannot be lit with insight, because it is heavy, soaked, darkened by desire. Craving is not just sexual desire. It is all forms of wanting. Wanting pleasure, wanting comfort, wanting recognition, wanting things to go our way. Craving leads us again and again into samsara, the endless cycle of birth and death. When we follow craving, we are never free. Even when we get what we want, craving creates more craving. It multiplies itself. It feeds on itself. But when we observe craving without feeding it, we begin to taste freedom. Every time we see a desire and don't follow it, we weaken its grip. Every time we give without expecting return, we dissolve part of the self. To be free of lust is to know contentment. It is to know the joy of the present moment. It is to rest in awareness without needing anything to complete us. This freedom is not cold. It is not dry. It is warm, open, spacious. It allows love without clinging, generosity without pride, joy without greed. Next, we reflect on the mind not afflicted by hate. Hatred may come in many forms: irritation, resentment, anger, violence, judgment, but all of them share the same root. The root of aversion, the rejection of what is, the desire to push away experience, or people, or pain. The Buddha did not teach us to suppress anger. He taught us to understand it, to observe it as it arises, to feel its heat, but not to act upon it blindly. With mindfulness, we see that anger is not a solid thing. It is just a rising and passing wave. When we are angry, we think we are right. But when anger passes, we see how narrow our mind had become, how tense our body had been, how much suffering we created. To remove hatred, we must practice loving kindness, not just toward those we like, but especially toward those who hurt us, who test our patience, who mirror our weaknesses. We may not be able to love everyone right away, but we can begin by wishing them peace, by understanding their suffering, by remembering that every being is seeking happiness, just like us. Now we come again to the line: who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. This is the teaching of the middle way, beyond dualities, beyond attachment to virtue, beyond aversion to faults. The awakened one acts with compassion, but does not build identity around being good, does not seek reward, does not cling to the fruit of action. This is a subtle point. In the beginning of the path, we cultivate merit. We bow, we offer, we keep precepts, we help others. And these actions are beautiful. They clean the mind. They create harmony. They open the heart. But at a certain point, we see that even good karma is part of samsara. We act, but we let go of the result. We offer, but we do not cling to being generous. We keep precepts, but without pride. We go beyond both merit and demerit, not by rejecting them, but by not attaching to them. We act from wisdom, not from self-image. Let us now reflect on the nature of awakening. What is it that makes the awakened one different from us? The same body, the same senses, the same elements. The difference is not in form, but in seeing. The awakened one sees things as they truly are, sees impermanence in all things, sees suffering in clinging, sees non-self in all formations, and because of that, the awakened one is free. There is no more craving, no more hatred, no more ignorance, no more fear. But the Buddha did not keep this realization for himself. He taught for 45 years. walked from village to village, shared the Dharma with kings and beggars, monks and farmers, children and elders. Why? Because he saw that this freedom is possible for all. Because he had great compassion. Because he knew the suffering of beings caught in delusion. So when we read this verse, we are not just reading about someone else. We are being shown a reflection of our highest potential, the Buddha within us, the nature that is already pure, but forgotten. The work of practice is to remember, to uncover, to return. Let us now ask, how can we practice this teaching in our daily life? When you wake in the morning, begin with awareness. Notice the breath. Offer a thought of gratitude. Remember the path. When desire arises, pause. Investigate. Ask, will this bring lasting peace? Or is it just another wave? Don't follow blindly. Let the craving arise. Let it fade. And remain still. When anger arises, breathe into it. Soften the body. Listen to the hurt behind the anger. Open your heart, not to approve wrong action, but to see clearly, to respond with wisdom, not reaction. When you do good, don't write it in your mind. Don't carry it as a badge. Just do it, and let it go, like a flower giving fragrance, like a tree offering shade. Naturally, freely. Let us walk slowly. Let us eat mindfully. Let us speak gently. Let us think with kindness. Let us live as if we already tasted awakening. Because in small ways, we already have. Every time we let go of a desire, we awaken a little. Every time we choose compassion over anger, we awaken a little. Every time we see impermanence in something we clung to, we awaken a little. Awakening is not a sudden miracle. It is the fruit of many tiny steps, many moments of mindfulness, many acts of letting go. And one day, like a lotus blooming from the mud, wisdom blossoms, and there is no more fear. Let us close this reflection by returning to the verse once more. There is no fear for an awakened one, whose mind is not sodden by lust, nor afflicted by hate, and who has gone beyond both merit and demerit. This is the voice of the Buddha, clear, calm, compassionate, calling us home. May we listen deeply. May we practice sincerely. May we walk gently. May we awaken fully. Thank you for watching my video. DHAMMAPADA. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to review the short sermons of the Buddha. Thank you for listening to the Dharma.